Hello, and here we are with a conversion of Thunderblades on the Commodore 64. I shit you not, this is Thunderblades on the Commodore 64. There's probably only one man who would even attempt to do this, and it is of course Chris Butler. Right, let's take a look. Now, as you can see, the first level, you control the helicopter. First level, the graphics are a little wobbly, but it's pseudo 3D. You can go up and down, left, right, the perspective of the buildings change appropriately. This is probably the weakest area of the game. I think it's just a little, they're like jelly. But you know what? I mean, it's okay. I mean, it's as good as it could have been, I think. And the second level, the second stage, is a bit more like it, I think. It's quite fast actually. To go full speed here, go full speed. You can really whiz through it. And this is reasonably representative, I think, of Coin Up. As unbelievable as that may sound. You know, the perspective, it feels quite realistic. Well, not realistic, but it feels reasonably similar to the arcade, I think. And I'm using joystick control, which you can use keys to control your speed, or you can use the joystick. It's a bit more complicated, but it works. I mean, I'm stationary here. Ah, if I can get him. This is the final stage of each level. Each level is in 3 stages. The first stage is a big boss, which is more conventional for the 64, which is sort of vertical scrolling, shoot 'em up. Really, 64 can handle this pretty easily. But these big bosses are really nicely drawn. All the graphics by Chris Butler, of course, and I think they did a great job on these bosses. I think they're fantastic. Now this came out Christmas '88, I think. One of these big hyped Christmas releases, and you know what? I think if you'd bought this back then, and I did own this on budget release actually. If you'd bought this back then, I think you'd be reasonably happy that you had a version of Thunderblades on your 64 that. You know, it's not a total disgrace. Not that Thunderblade is in the Coin Up version, not that it's a particularly awesome game to play anyway. I mean, it's mostly just graphically, you know, stunning, but it's just throwing lots of 3D graphics at you, or lots of graphics and sprite scaling at you. A bit like Space Harrier really, but an Afterburner, that sort of type of game. I like the way the boss explodes here. Now I'm playing this on an emulator with the loading speed up. If you played this on cassette back in the day, I must admit the loading times on cassette were pretty horrible. It was a bit of a slog, and unfortunately it creates the cardinal sin of starting the game right away. Instead of press fire to continue, it starts it. So you can't just walk away and make a cup of tea, or you could, but you'd have to make sure you were back in time for the game to start, otherwise you'd come back to find the game over. So I was never too keen on that actually. I think it was probably the first multi-load game that Chris Butler had written, I think. He didn't really like doing multi-load games that much. Now this is quite well done, I think. Little sort of caverns. Obviously on the Coin Up, these caverns are on the ground. You don't quite get that sensation here. But it's done well enough, I think. Butler had previously written a conversion of Space Harrier, which wasn't great. I mean, it had some merit, I think. It was a bit bit half-hearted, I think, in terms of its presentation and the amount of levels and things I had. I think he had to rush to get it done, and I don't think he was going to make some mistake with this title. I think he wanted to make sure that he'd really completed it. Again, this is a little Sega sand crawler type thing. Again, just drawn very well. I'm surprised if you have a look at the coin-op version, I think you better we can have a try at it. It doesn't play that well. It's not that much fun to play, to be honest. It's okay, but it's not brilliant. But as usual, Chris Butler, the C64 version is is actually quite good fun to play. You know, I think he's always one of these programmers that he was a gamer himself, I think, and he understood, you know, it's important the game be fun at least. I think a lot of programmers on 64 really weren't big games players. They never played games, and as a result, you know, the games were either not good fun or they were too difficult or too hard. But, this is not the case with Chris Butler. If you think back then, I mean, this is one guy that wrote a program, drew all the graphics, probably tested the game himself. You know, he basically wrote the whole game. I think that's an incredible achievement. You think what it costs these days for a big AAA console title? Probably 100 people working on it. It costs millions to develop. And okay, obviously they look better, but are they really any more fun? Or any fun? Or are you just walking through graphics? Yeah, well, I know what I feel. I'd rather play this, to be honest, than you know, some Call of Duty type game that's just walking through graphics. Yeah, this is these are supposed to be bridges, but it's just little roads. This is quite an easy section. If you stay at the top, you can just whiz through it. As long as you don't crash into the bushes. I must admit the boss is quite impressive. It looks quite impressive here. This big huge plane. Now, there's only 4 levels in the game, so this is already the boss for level 3. So I'll try and complete it if I can. Yeah, there's some nice shading here. I quite like it. And Chris Butler, I mean, he doesn't seem to get recognition as a graphics artist, but I think he's got quite a lot of talent. So we're going a bit quiet, but I'm trying to concentrate. And the music was by, what's his name? I can't remember his name now. That'll come to me. Certainly not one of the, was it Matt Furnace? Or maybe Mark Tate. So it's certainly not a big name. in terms of the overall scheme of things. But he'd done a few games, you know, mostly for US Gold, I think. But he's okay. I mean, it's a reasonably representative of the coin-ops tunes. The coin-op had some sort of funky bass thing going on and some lots of hi-hat cymbals and things, but obviously you can't really replicate that in 64, so they've gone with the more traditional 64 sounds. I think there is an option to have sound effects, but they're not very good. It's better to have the music, I think, sort of propels you a little bit further, I think. Well, here we are, pretty much at the last 3D section anyway of the game. This reminds me of the trench section in Star Wars, the coin-op, where we go down the trench and go to avoid the walkways. I think this is obviously a quite similar idea. I might just try and speed up and make my way through it as best I can. So I'm not playing the game the way it should be played, I'm just trying to whisk through it. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Yes. So this is the final boss of the game. It was actually quite easy. I'm sure I've just tempted fate by saying that, but I can normally complete it. And there's various ways to play the game. You can try and whiz through it, get a time bonus, or you can try and destroy as much as you can and get points bonus for kills. You see it in each level, there's a little tally of what you've done. I can't remember where to shoot this guy. Oh, I think he flashed there. Get a nice little explosion there. Right, well there you go, that was Thunderblade on the 64, quite a short game, and I guess the coin-op's quite a short game as well. You get a little end of game sequence which is brilliant, but I believe in the coin-op the helicopter flies away or something, just purely static in this version. Right, what would I rate Thunderblade on the 64? I think it's quite a good conversion of a game that's, the coin-op is just basically graphics orientated. I'll give it 7 out of 10 because it's quite a good game and it's quite good fun. And 7's a good score. I mean that means it's a good game, not a great game, but a good game, which this certainly is. Right, that's all from me.